predecessor to T6?
What's that?
Was the predecessor to T6?
Yes, the Trojan, not the new T6 J-Pass. Yeah, the old T6. Tail tractor. Big reset. Oh, did you? I never got a chance to. I was had an opportunity at the test pilot school to hop in. Hey, did you guys stay with me? Okay. Trying to keep track of who's asking each question. Pre-production Twin Otter. Okay, so when they design something, just like automobiles, they'll take a couple models and test them first, make sure that the design works, make the fixes before they go into full production. This is actually Twin Otter number 6. Okay, these have been around since the early 60s. They still use them today. Actually, another company's rebuilding them called Viking Aircraft. And if you were to take a tour of the Grand Canyon, you'd be flying in one of these. They also put skis on them. They put floats on them. They do all sorts of wacky things with Twin Otter. We used it for icing research primarily. Okay, so what does that mean? Ice in planes is bad, right? Ice in planes is bad. You get ice on the plane, and all of a sudden you are a test pilot. So if you were flying with an airfoil, it wasn't the original airfoil for that aircraft, right? So we would go up and test it. Done by our crew. Voice and English, by the way. So what we would do is we'd fly in the natural icing. We'd accrete ice. That means get ice on the wings, the airfoil, get them on the struts. We'd get to a point where the plane is slowing down too much that we're not comfortable, and then we can plop out of the cloud layer and shed it. Those leading edges of all those struts, wings, tail, empennage, if you will, that's all a balloon. We can take bleed air, excess bleed air from that jet engine, pipe it, and that inflates and it sheds the ice. Okay? In aircraft like this behind you, they actually use that bleed air and they heat up the front wing. In the S3, you'll see it's also a hot wing. So there's different ways to get rid of the ice, and that's one of the things we do here at NASA Plane. That's a good thing. Okay, we'll talk about the Otter right now. We'll get to that. Come over here and ask me a question about the Otter. Yeah, they do. And actually, the Air Force Academy owns a couple of them, and they do their jump wing quals or what have you. If any of you all know Air Force. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. Questions about the Otter, yeah. Well, we got it. There's good. As I said, we can talk about that a little bit. So NASA gets these planes either from industry or just military guys. Sometimes we buy them new. The Clear 25 over there we got as a drug confiscation or somebody 25. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, and then we'll take it and we'll modify it. We'll do some of the neat, nifty things like cameras. These are stereo cameras. That section of the wing over there, so we can take pictures of the ice. We'll hang probes on the bottom of the wing. We'll actually measure how much water comes into the cloud, how much particle content, what size the particles are, and what frequency they're at. All those different things. We can reproduce that ice over in the icing wind tunnel. And then they can say, hey, this is really valid ice shape for this area. We can also stick a wing out the top of this aircraft, accrete ice, measure what kind of atmosphere we're in, take pictures of it, take castings of it, molds. Take that same wing, stick it in the icing wind tunnel, put the same parameters we just measured, and now we can validate that wing. Okay, remember how we talked about a plane is designed with its mission up front? Okay? So from the very outset, this aircraft is designed to fly off an aircraft carrier. Okay? So that is a big design constraint, if you will. Right off the bat, you know it's going to have a launch bar. You know it's going to have a tail hook to get back on deck. And that's got to take a lot of stress. So this plane would take off the carrier at 52,500 pounds. Okay? So 26 tons. It would get launched off the carrier. It would get airborne about to 160, 170 knots in less than 2 seconds. And I got to tell you, it's a hell of a ride. Okay? So to do that, can you imagine the stress on this launch bar that's pulling 26 tons and getting it up to that fast in less than 2 seconds? It's a lot. Okay, so that is a major design constraint when they designed this aircraft. The other design constraint are those landing gears. Look at that itty bitty puny landing gear on that thing. You think that lands on a carrier? Just take a look at this. Okay, overbuilt.
Whoa.
This thing's gonna land. Look, that aircraft structure inside's got to be able to take those loads, right? We got to be able to take those loads, transfer them into the aircraft. Somebody had to do all that design work to do this. All right? So as you walk around the plane, you're going to see that the plane is a little bit different than your standard point A to point B traveler. Your V-stall aircraft, your trainer at the end. Okay? So as you walk around, please ask questions. We're running out of things to talk about. Come on. It was actually an anti-submarine aircraft. It was designed to hunt submarines and ships. It actually bombed okay, that's where you hide the torpedoes, the mines, depth charges. So well before you all were born, you have to realize that America's #1 enemy was the USSR, right? Which doesn't exist anymore. The USSR had submarines that could take any city in this country off the map. Take multiple cities in this country off the map. The plane was designed to take off from the carrier, find that submarine and kill it. And they had planes that were designed to do that to our submarines. When you look at that, it's designed to do it on one engine. So you can take off, use one of the engines, and still complete the mission. So you're going to find that a plane like this is overbuilt compared to the other ones. It still has to complete its mission if it uses an engine. Right?
Look how it's close to the fuselage.
Well, it's got to be close to the fuselage. There's a couple things for that. Good question. We got to drop bombs, right? So I can't stick this way out on the wing. Look at that lever arm, right? I don't want to stick that kind of weight out here, especially since the wings fold, right? Those fold in half, so does the tail. Go on the carrier. Now we got to start pushing the engine in. As we move the engines out, okay? We have 2 engines from an airplane. All right, I got one engine go out. This one's providing thrust. What's happening? Yeah, so I'm yawing, right? I'm yawing, coming to one side. What counteracts that yaw? What? Rudder. Look at the size of that. All right, it's enormous rudder. All right, if we started moving these engines out, that rudder's got to get bigger. That rudder already doesn't fit on the aircraft carrier, that's why it folds. Okay? I have 2 options. I make the rudder bigger, or I stick the rudder further back. All great questions. Next question. There's sights in front. We would do like clear bombing, radar bombing. We do the traditional bombing. We have a sight that comes up in the cockpit that you can go in, a whole iron sight, if you will, and drop. A lot of the stuff we would drop, torpedoes and stuff, the actual accuracy doesn't have to be that close. You have to get a good idea, drop it, and then it had a secret. We'll go in and find it. You find submarines by dropping sonar buoys. Those are things that would land in the water. They had a little balloon that inflated, and it would listen, just like you see on the movies. So a guy inside would actually listen for that submarine. You triangulate from the different sonar buoys, and you drop your torpedo or mine or depth charge. It's a 360 antenna, so if you look, it's square.
Take a look at this engine.
and down, and that's it's like it's super quick.
You'll be working on it.
Listen, I have my